Hello, my friends. It's Friday. It's finally Friday. Namaste and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Witecki, an astrologer and a soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your story together and get light cast in your personal dreams. It's so nice to be back. I've been off the air for a few weeks. My apologies. I tried to go as fast as I could, but I'm also trying to learn as much as I can. We're at a very quantum and interesting time right now. Jupiter is wrapping up its transit in Gemini. This is the first time Jupiter has wrapped up in Gemini since 2001. The time before that was 1989. In each case, we're expanding our thinking process and getting ready for a very emotional year. This summer is going to be the most emotional summer since 9/11. I've also recorded Act 2 videos and done everything I can to prepare. Plus, on top of that, Saturn in Scorpio for the first time since 1983. And Pluto in Capricorn for the first time since 1760. Not kidding. We created the laws of democracy. So yes, folks, I think the Mayan shift has happened. Yes, I think things are galloping ahead. And yes, Christopher Witecki is here to help you get through it. So without further ado, let's take the ascension elevator up and take a bird's eye view of you.
Good afternoon, folks. This is your captain speaking. Please be advised, those with heavier emotional baggage may be asked to pay an additional fee. During Ascension, make sure to keep your past life karma and drama stowed in the overhead compartment, and anyone who's a bummer will not get peanuts.
Hello, officers, Scorpio and Scorpio risings. Welcome now to 33,000 feet. It's so good to be back, to be of service, and just in the nick of time. Some incredibly powerful transformation, particularly for the Scorpios and your opposite sign, yours truly, Taurus here. We're both doing what we do best. In your case, reinventing and expanding what boundaries are. In my case, expanding what soul capital is. In both of our cases, we have to work on the opposite side. So what does that mean? Well, we are in chapter 2 already of the Sun in Gemini, and the Scorpios and Scorpio risings are working on their sense of security, which means you have to work on your trust issues with yourself. Where are your yes-no limits? And I'll give you the secret sauce. You should base every boundary on love. Basically, what you love in yourself should be protected. What you love outside yourself should be protected. If you don't love it, don't protect it. It's that simple. This turns into a sense of trust and privacy and security, which then allows you to alchemize your life, because once you are not afraid of making changes, you can make profound changes in yourself. You know this, you're a Scorpio, but you're not wanting to do it. Now that said, Mars is kicking ass and taking names in the first 4 to 10 degrees. What that means is you are incredibly pissy. If anyone crosses old boundaries that you've already said something about, the stinger will come out. That's the god-awful truth in someone's face. Unexpected. So I am telling everyone else, we're on Scorpio stinger alert right now. If you better listen up. Okay, I know my Scorpios. Now what you're light casting is a new sense of trust and boundaries, and what this leads to is intimacy. So as we come back here on Friday the 7th, it is about light cast day on Saturday, where you're going to step into your heart and say, I want these things protected in my life, which turns into the potential for intimacy. Now Jupiter means that as soon as these boundaries are in place, law of attraction steps right in. But Jupiter's at 25 degrees all week, so you really want to ask your guides where the final boundaries should be drawn. Now in other news, your home planet Pluto, which is in Capricorn, and for you the house of I think, it's time for you to consider thinking differently still, all right? Your mind is programmed to be a general and not budge. Now that was for a time that was protecting other things. Your mind must be reprogrammed to update to the new laws and lessons that you're learning with trusted intimacy. And then lastly, Saturn in your sign. Yes, Scorpio is getting hit by all signs. This is actually retrograded back to 5 degrees, so you're really going to go all the way back to 4 over the summer. Watch the Act 2 videos for some of that. What that means is you're going to have to still reconsider some old games of the ego. In other words, let them go. Let some old battles go. Admit defeat in some ego purposes, and I'll be letting you know, of course, on the particular days, especially if you're watched over by the Guardian Agency, because I can get right to you when that actually happens. That's the cool, fun stuff. Now we've got a new format here that is much simpler, and it is, I think, much more coherent, having listened to everyone's messages. First, let's start with this week. We come back on the 7th, and what this is the day before Lightcast Day, and Neptune goes retrograde in Pisces. That means the universe is not going to be dangling carrots in front of you anymore to get you to follow your dreams. You're going to have to do it on your own. If you lose touch with your inner child from this point on in the summer, it's your fault. I warned you. All right? Now, I'll keep telling you, and I'll tell you in the Act 2s, and I'll tell you in the GAs, but that's the thing. You've got to look out for your inner prince or princess. Now, Jupiter's at 25 degrees, which means when it comes to where exactly the final hairs of drawing the line is concerned, you should ask your guides. So you don't really know. Your higher self knows. Remember your God positioning service, your GPS, your guides that have a higher vision of you. Ask your higher self where the line should be drawn. Learn to trust that, and that's all part of it. So Saturday, it's Light Cast Day, where you're really saying, okay, I trust myself because these, I decide, are my new boundaries. And from that point, we roll forward very quickly. Now, on Sunday, June 9th, it's a game changer. You want to immediately employ those new boundaries. So if you decided that you're not going to deal with cheaters and your boyfriend or girlfriend is cheating, I would break up on Sunday, June 9th. There is no time to mess, okay? What you want to do is hold those boundaries and trust you've done the right thing. If your heart agrees you have done the right thing, all right? And then by Tuesday, it gets really passionate. Now, if you were cutting away from people or certain parts of yourself, like let's say you're trying to stop drinking in this, excellent time to stop drinking, excellent time to stop anything that's hurting you, but recognize it gets really passionate on the 11th and 12th. So you get drunk with the passion, whether it's good passion or negative passion, it's passion. All right, and Uranus goes to 12 degrees. That erection there is Uranus putting the up on the elevator button, which means for you, you're living in a higher vibration than you've ever lived in your entire life. This is a new higher reality for the Scorpios, all right, and Scorpio risings. So you're feeling out of your skin, you were feeling alien, and this is what separates the big scorpions from the small scorpions in the sense that those who can handle the heat. The heat is being turned up right now. Now on Wednesday and Thursday, Jupiter takes it to the highest degree too, which means basically Jupiter, like a quarterback, takes whatever your new boundaries are and scores a touchdown. Look at that little quarterback. Woo! So if you did not draw boundaries, you will find everything crash into a wall with that Jupiter energy. If you did draw boundaries, you'll see everything enforced, which means a lot of people on Earth won't be happy because Scorpios are suddenly enforcing boundaries. I myself will be eating popcorn and laughing all the way because I have been stung by the best of you. Now, Thursday is the quantum day. In other words, if you surrender to the new boundaries, you're going to surrender to passion. You'll have to quit nitpicking the little boundaries here and there in the yes and no's. You'll have to surrender to the overall passion. That's the only way you can blow past life and get grander. You can't get grander nitpicking with your mind. The mind has to let go at the point of what I call master shui. And then once you are blown through the passion, then you start to feel a new reality. So Thursday is that quantum breakthrough day with everything really happening and Uranus ruling the day, meaning the up elevator goes up when it comes to trust in yourself. Here's a new feature of the new horoscopes, a sneak peek at next week. And you can see right here that next week starts with a couple of God days with commitment on Tuesday. And then on Saturn Day, the sun moves into Cancer, which means you're out of trust and intimacy and you're into a major transit now for belief structures. Once the trust and boundaries change, Scorpios believe new things. Now, if you want to get deep on next week now, how about an Act 2 Orbit Report? This is for just $9.99, the best way to tip your light worker. For just $9.99, you can download a video right now and put it on your iPhone or whatnot. It will cover all 14 weeks in just 13 or 14 minutes, and people are telling me they're fabulous. They also use the same graphics as these horoscopes, so there's real synchronicity now between my products. Now, if you want to help quantum break through your stuff, 1 hour for $99.99, I will change your life. I've got all the testimonials, but it's really about being guided and finding your plan for serious joy. Now is the time to invest in you, and I have appointments available through the summer. You get an MP3 recording with that too. And if you want to be guided step by step through the day, how about the GA text service? This is where I write text messages every night, every day, and send them to people based on their sign and nag them to stay in the light. So if you want some nagging, this is worth $1 Starbucks a week. That's what it's worth. All these are available right now for immediate download at soulmart.me. Well, my Scorpions, I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming back. I will see you in 7 days. Until then, live, love, be.